Tang Pin was a scholar who passed the imperial examination in a certain year. He fell gravely ill and on the verge of death. The childhood memories and long-forgotten trivial incidents flooded his mind, as if a tidal wave of recollections surged through his heart. Each time he recalled a good deed, he felt a sense of peace and clarity. But when he remembered a wrongdoing, an unbearable remorse and anxiety consumed him, as if he were being fried in boiling oil, an agony beyond words. He particularly recalled a moment when he was 7 or 8 years old, climbing a tree to take a bird's nest and killing the fledglings for amusement. Just this single memory caused his blood to churn like a stormy sea, taking some time before settling down. As his entire life replayed before him like a rushing tide, he felt the heat rising in wisps through his throat, reaching his head, and finally escaping through the crown, drifting upward like smoke from a cooking fire. After more than an hour, his soul finally left his body, floating freely, entirely detached from his physical form. Tang Pin's soul wandered aimlessly outside the city, lost and without direction. Suddenly, a giant figure appeared, towering several meters high. The giant picked up Tang's wandering soul and placed it into his sleeve. Inside, Tang found himself squeezed among many other souls, their shoulders and legs pressed together, the air thick and stifling, making it unbearable. In his desperation, Tang Pin suddenly remembered that only the Buddha could bring salvation in times of peril. He began chanting, Amitabha Buddha, and after reciting just 3 or 4 times, his soul was expelled from the giant's sleeve, falling to the ground. The giant quickly picked him up again, but after he chanted, he was cast out once more. This happened 3 times, and finally, the giant walked away, leaving Tang's soul alone. Drifting without a destination, Tang Pin thought of the Western Pure Land, where the Buddha resided, and began walking westward. Before long, he saw a monk meditating by the roadside. Bowing respectfully, Tang asked for directions. The monk told him, the records of scholars' lives and deaths are managed by 2 deities, the god of literature and academic success, who oversees academic merit, and Confucius, who governs moral teachings. You must first visit them to have your name removed from the register of the dead before you can leave the underworld. Tang Pin then asked where he could find these 2 deities, and the monk provided him with detailed directions. Following them, Tang soon arrived at the temple of Confucius. Inside, the great sage sat solemnly, facing south. As in life, Tang respectfully kneeled and bowed before him. Confucius said, matters of life and death ultimately fall under the jurisdiction of the god of literature and academic success. He then pointed Tang in the right direction. Hurrying forward, Tang Pin soon arrived at a grand palace, majestic like an imperial court. Lowering his head in reverence, he stepped inside and saw a deity whose appearance was exactly like the earthly depictions of the god of literature and academic success. Tang prostrated himself and prayed sincerely. The god of literature and academic success, understanding his request, began flipping through the register of life and death. He said, "You have been an honest and upright person, and you deserve to return to the human world. However, your physical body has already decayed, and no one but Guanyin Bodhisattva can help you now." He then pointed out a path and instructed Tang to seek Guanyin's assistance. Tang Pin followed the direction given to him, walking until he saw a lush forest of trees and bamboo, sheltering a grand temple. Entering, he beheld Guanyin Bodhisattva, her hair styled in an elegant snail-shaped bun, her golden face serene and radiant like a full moon. Before her sat a sacred vase containing a branch of willow, its leaves drooping gracefully like mist. Tang Pin knelt in deep reverence and explained the god of literature and academic success's decree. Guanyin appeared hesitant, but Tang pleaded earnestly, unwilling to give up. Guanyin finally agreed. She personally plucked a willow branch, poured out water from her sacred vase, and mixed it with pure soil to form a divine clay. She then pressed the willow branch and the clay onto Tang Pin's body, molding a new form for him. She then instructed a celestial boy to escort Tang Pin back to the place where his body lay in a coffin. The boy guided his soul back into the lifeless shell. Inside the coffin, Tang Pin's body let out groans and stirred. To everyone's shock, Tang Pin had completely recovered, his sickness entirely gone. When they counted the days, they realized he had been dead for 49 days.